Today I'm back with another Walking Dead Season 5 video, and today I'm here to talk about where is Beth. So let's get started with the video. Now at first I came up with a few conclusions that I thought it was Garrett was the one who had took Beth. But then I quickly found out that Garrett is not the one because Robert Kirkman was throwing hints for months saying that Garrett will be a remixed character from one of his characters that's in the comic book. But it got revealed recently that Garrett is a remix character of Chris, the leader of the Hunters, that's from the comic book. Because Chris and his people are cannibals, and Garrett and his people are cannibals. Chris is the leader of his people, and Garrett is the leader of his people. So yeah, he's a remix character of Chris. Now, that left answers unanswered on where is Beth. Is she still alive? And I came up with some theories of my own. I think that Preacher Gabriel Stokes. Now, Preacher Gabriel Stokes is a black African American from the Walking Dead comic book. I think he will make his introduction into the Walking Dead season 5. And I think he was the one who had kidnapped. Well, I ain't gonna even say kidnapped. I think he was the one who had took Beth. And when you talk about Preacher Gabriel, as I stated before, he's a religious man. He believes in God, and his name says it itself. Preacher. He's a preacher, and he also owns a church. Now, ask yourself. He's a preacher. He owns a church. So why would he head to tournaments? I don't see him doing that. I don't think Beth is at tournaments. I don't think Preacher Gabriel is with her. I think he took her to his church just like he had a church in the Walking Dead comic book. And they did call his church a sanctuary in the Walking Dead comic book, as the tournament is called a sanctuary, right? So now, leading on. I think he was the one who had took Beth, and you also got to remember it wasn't much that Beth could do because Beth had really damaged hurt her ankle real bad, because prior to that, in episode 12, I think, titled Steel, she had hurt herself in the animal trap that was meant to catch animals, but she ended up stepping in the trap, and she ended up hurting her ankle, or twisting her ankle. And remember when her and Daryl was in the house, she couldn't even walk that good because Daryl was carrying Beth around everywhere she needed to go. He even carried her in the kitchen. So I think when he took her, it was pretty easy too. And also, I don't think he had bad intentions on what he did. He probably thought that he was saving another human being's life. And he probably didn't see Daryl outside with her, because I'm pretty sure he probably would have took him too, but he didn't see Daryl outside with her, because remember, Daryl had his own problem. Daryl was in there fighting out some zombies that were trying to kill him and eat him. So he had his own problems. And that's the reason why Daryl had missed Beth when he had ran outside, because yeah, she was already gone, but he made it out there too late because he had to fight zombies off himself. Now, about Preacher Gabriel. And I remember when Beth and Daryl was in the house, and she was looking at those dead corpses. And it was actually zombie corpses, but you could tell that somebody had put makeup in their face to make them look like humans, and make them look like the people they were before everything had started. And even Beth said this. So yeah, I think his intentions was good when he took Beth. I don't think they was bad. And like I say, Daryl did make it out there kind of late. So I think he probably would have took Daryl with him. And also, if you see the car that they was in, well, you couldn't see them, but we knew Beth was in the car. The car has a cross imprinted on the front of the windshield. So that right there will give us a hint too. And also, AMC had released some posters for The Walking Dead, for season finale, and they also released some posters for Beth, Tyrese, and Cal. And they also released a poster for Rick, and this poster contains to the Walking Dead season 5. And in this poster you see Rick in a dark room, and it looked like he's kind of kneeling on the ground, or he's kind of, I wouldn't say he's sitting down, but we can see him kind of, well, we can see him in the dark. And on the left side you see a window, and that window has, I think it's the sun up outside. You can see reflection of the sun coming through the window. You can see the reflection hit, well, it's hitting Rick while he's in the dark. You can see Rick just standing there with a pistol in his hand, Joe's pistol. That, of course, he has Joe's pistol in his hand. You can just see Rick. You can see Rick sitting in the sunlight. Well, the reflection light. You can see Rick just sitting in the dark, or kneeling down. And while you see him kneeling down, you see a reflection of the glass window. Now that glass window is a church glass window, or a church window, because you can see the kind of many designs, the image reflection. You can see the little designs on the glass. That right there is a church window. And I think that Rick and his group will head to the church next. And the reason why I say this is because, and there's two reasons why I say this, because we know Rick and his group is at the tournaments at this moment as we speak. But we know for a fact they will get free. Now, let's just say Rick and his people does end up killing everybody at the tournaments. We know Rick, and we know Rick as a character. We know that Rick is always looking for a place to stay. So let's just say if he would have successfully killed all these people at the tournaments, we knew Rick would have took this place over and would have turned this place into a home. But that can't be the reason, because let's just say if they do that, it might be zombies that end up running them off, because it will be a lot of gun noise, a lot of sounds, a lot of shootings, and we know that sound does attract zombies. So zombies might end up coming, and that might be the reason why they leave the tournaments. That's if they kill everybody. Now let's just say Rick and his people don't kill everybody. They might escape the tournaments and just take out running. And while they running, they might see Gabriel's church house, and they might run it up because it's the nearest hideout that they can find. And Garrett and his people might follow them, because who knows? Who knows? Once Rick and his people escape, that might be the only food supply that they really got. And Garrett and his people might try to follow them, and they might end up following them to Gabriel's church, and trying to get in. In one poster, we see Beth with a knife in her hand. This right here is the poster that got released for the season 4 finale. And on that poster, we see Beth with a knife in her hand. That's the same knife that Beth had in episode, I can't remember, episode 12. It's the episode where we seen Daryl, because he ends up getting mad at Beth, and he takes Beth by her arm, he pulls her outside, and he gets his crossbow, and he says, "Hey, you want to learn how to shoot a crossbow?" So he starts trying to shoot the zombie, but he never aimed to kill the zombie. And you can see how Beth get angry, and she pull that same knife we see on that poster out, and she pulls it out, and she stabs the zombie in the head while it's pent up on the tree. So yeah, that's the same knife. But back to what I was saying, I think that Garrett and his people might come to Gabriel's church, just like the Hunters did in the comic book. And I think that I think that's the reason why Beth have that knife the way she has it, to try to fight to try to help Rick. Well, she is in Rick group. To try to help the rest of her group fight them off, because like I say, they might follow her. They might. And like I say, let's just, like I was saying, if Rick does end up killing everybody at the tournaments, which I don't think he will at all, but let's just say if he does, like I say, Rick, and he will try to take that place and turn it into a home. But like I say, it's going to be something that's going to run them away. So like I said, it could be some zombies that come and try to run them away. But I don't see them doing that. I definitely see them escaping tournaments, and Garrett and his people might end up following them And like I said, they running, so they might try to head to the nearest hideout that they can find, and it might be Gabriel's church. So I think I touched on everything with this promo. And yeah, the posters that AMC always release for The Walking Dead, each thing that you see in that poster, that stuff always happened in the actual episode. Like the poster that we saw with Rick, Michonne, and Carl in it, and it says tournaments and will they survive? And you can see on that poster Rick has a pistol. That's Joe's pistol. And like I say, he did take Joe's pistol. He did kill Joe and take his pistol. He didn't take it, but he did get Joe's pistol after he killed him. And in that poster, you see Rick with Joe's pistol. Also in that poster, you see Rick with Herschel's watch. In the previous episode, we saw Rick actually take Herschel's watch away from that dude. I forgot his name, but we saw Rick take that watch from that guy, and in that poster, he got that watch. In the poster, we see Michonne kind of we see her with her katana blade held up in in the defense mode. In that episode, we seen her with the same pose in the previous season finale. So yeah. So with the poster about the poster with Rick, about the poster with Rick in the dark with the sunlight reflecting on them. That poster, those events, well, that stuff that we saw in that poster will happen in the actual TV show. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed my Walking Dead discussion video. Remember, have a nice day. God bless you all. Remember to subscribe, and I will put an annotation link at the top of my video on your right hand. Well, depending on how YouTube switch my video, but it's either going to be on your right hand or your left hand side. So, annotation to subscribe. Remember to thumbs up the video if you enjoyed it. Love you all. Peace.